Welcome to the Wisdom of 21 Winning Women and Their Lessons. My name is Reverend Joy Dore, and I'll be your host today. The purpose of this summit is to empower, to inspire, educate women by showcasing the diverse experiences and wisdom of 21 accomplished women who have achieved success in their respective fields. The summit aims to create a platform for collaboration, learning, and networking, fostering a supportive community for women striving for excellence. Lastly, help women embrace their winning moments, regardless of how small or big, towards a successful and fulfilling life. And this time we are looking to empower, excel, embrace, and elevate. Let me tell you guys something. In my studio today, we have our amazing Pattie, and she is an award-winning keynote speaker, author, leadership and team development facilitator, amazing podcast guest, and women's advocate. Let me tell you something. There's just so much about our expert in the house today that just gonna let her open up and tell us who she is, how she earned or learned, or that she have achieved. So, Coach Pattie, take it away.
Thank you, Reverend Joy, for putting together this summit, because this is so critical and so important, especially given the fact that in many cases, women have lost ground since COVID in terms of pay parity, equity, anything you can think of. We've actually taken some steps backwards. So it's really time to, like you said, collaborate, create that community of women that are empowering other women. So the fact that you've got 21 winning, empowered women that are going to share their stories is just so inspiring for me. It so fits my personal vision, which is to empower women and girls to be their best, to find their joy. Funny, it's called Find Their Joy, and to leave the world a better place for women and girls today, tomorrow, and forever. So it fits that. It's such a perfect fit for us to be talking today. And I want to start off with a little bit of a story. And I want your listeners to imagine it's 5:30 in the morning in a little town called Kirkland, Washington, just outside of Seattle. And there's a woman on the floor. She is sitting there on the floor in a combination of tears and sweat. Next to her is her computer, her phone. She's on this cold bathroom floor. It's a typical October Seattle day. It's cold, it's damp, it's dreary, it's raining, and this woman's on the floor trying to get up the energy to go to the job that she loves. That woman was me in October of 2014. I had worked at a high-tech company in the Seattle area, which I'm sure everybody knows who it is, but I'd worked at a high-tech company for over 15 years. And I had worked myself to the point of not being able to go back to the job that I loved. And eventually I ended up doing that. But I wasn't burning the candle at both ends. There was no candle. There was no candle left. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I'd given up on my vision, my values, my purpose, my family. I was going to see doctors and nurses and nurse practitioners to find out what was wrong with me. And they kept telling me, you've got to take a break. You've got depression. You have anxiety. You've got my anal glands had started to fail. My hair was falling out. And I couldn't even do the simplest things like write a simple email. And I would read it back and there were typos in it. Or even make dinner for my family. I'd have a recipe, I'd make it, and I'd leave out probably the most important thing. My brain was so fried that I'd gone from being a rock star. I was on what they called the executive potential program at Microsoft, that only 50 people out of 150,000 people get on a year for this executive potential program. I'd gone from rock star to rock bottom. I'd fallen so hard I didn't know if I'd ever get up again. But I did. And here's a little bit about how I did that. And then we can get into some conversation too. So I did go get help. I remember driving home from this doctor literally told me if I didn't take care of myself, I'd be dead in 6 months. And as I'm talking to her, she takes out what I think is a prescription pad. Like all these doctors were giving me multiple depression medications, multiple anxiety medication, multiple sleeping methods. And when she took out this pad that I thought was a prescription pad, I screamed through my tears, no more pills, no more pills. And she stops and looks at me and says, Pattie, this isn't a prescription pad. This is a note of something I'm going to send to your employer, to the company you're working for. And you're to go home. You're not to go back to work until you're better. And here's who you're going to go see to get better. So I went and saw some doctors and some psychiatrists, but I also had support of my family. And I had me. From the time I was a little girl, I always wanted to have a vision of making a difference and really helping people be their best. And yet I couldn't even help myself. I say you can't pour from an empty teacup, right? If you don't have your own self-worth, which is a combination of your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-respect, you can't help somebody else. You can't help your family, your friends, the people you work for, the people in your community. And so I found myself again. And what I did once I got up off that floor and I took some time off, I decided I was going to write a book for women leaders, not just based on my experience, but I spent close to 3 years interviewing over 3,952 men and women about what makes great women leaders and what were their success secrets. How did they become these winning women that were fully empowered and embraced who they were? And as I was researching this, and I had a funny way of doing it, I was using like index cards, good old fashioned college, high school index cards. And I'd be watching TV and I'd see something on the Oprah show about women, or I'd be watching something. And so I'd jot that down. I'd stop the TV, I'd take a picture and I'd jot that down. Or I hear an inspirational song like Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire, or Kelly Clarkson, What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger. And I started writing these on Post-it notes. Or I'd think of a story or a story I heard from someone when I was interviewing them. And I put them all on my office wall. And then I started to see these themes. And these themes became my 5 success secrets for highly impactful, self-confident, amazing women. I found these 5 principles. I found these 5 things. And so my book, which is called Quiet Women Never Change History, Be Strong, Stand Up, Let's Go Kick Some Glass, with my big red high heel, that when I'm doing keynotes, right, I have my little red flats when I'm running around these meetings. And then as soon as I go to get on stage, I put on these big red high heels. And then I take them off as soon as I get off stage. And I share my story. And I tell you while I'm telling the story about being on that bathroom floor, I see every woman in the audience nodding their head. And afterwards, they came up to me and said, the fact you shared that story, the fact that you came back stronger than ever and you gave us a way to get there ourselves is so inspiring. It's so inspiring.
I was going to ask you actually what led to that book. I was looking at that book, from your work, having,
Yeah.
such and everything. I was like, that book has something, like Quiet Women Never Change History, Be Strong,
Yeah.
I was like, really? I wanted to know what inspired you to it. So when you went there direct, I was like, okay, I'll still continue to ask you yes, I know you've told how all that came, but is there any specific, like, is there any turning point in your life that actually made you say, okay, I'm going to put this down, not just for me, but to help other people?
Yeah, it truly was. It was one of these, and this is the funny thing, right? So I had started to write the book and I'd done probably, about half of the interviews, and I got that typical self-doubting, self-limiting beliefs and saying, what if I write this book and they hate it? What if I write this book and people laugh at me? What if I write this book and it fails? Or what if I write this book and nobody buys it, right? Or nobody likes what I have to say? And I went through all that. So I stopped writing the book for a couple of months. And I was sitting in church on Easter Sunday with my sister and her family. And I literally had this like epiphany, or this, I've got to finish the book. If I can help one woman either get off that floor, if that's where she happens to be, or that's where she crashes and burns, I can get her back on track, or I can help women recognize the signs sooner so they don't find themselves in that situation. then I've accomplished my goal. I've accomplished my mission of empowering women to be the best they could be. And every chapter starts with a lyric or two out of a women's empowerment song, like Alicia Keys, This Girl Is on Fire. When I speak and do keynotes, that's my onstage music. You know, This Girl Is on Fire. And it just really helps me continue to do what I do. I have been fighting for women's rights, for parity, equity, and inclusion, and trying to empower women and girls way back to my banking days 30 years ago. And when people ask me, well, why are you still standing up for women? Why are you still out doing these speeches and presentations and workshops and webinars and coaching women? Because I have to. It is my purpose and my mission in life is to leave the world a better place. It would break my heart to see my granddaughters going through what some of us have gone through and still trying to fight for that role or that job or that opportunity, that promotion that you know you deserve. And so if I can help somebody by giving them these 5 principles, which we could talk about a little bit, then I've accomplished my mission in life. That's the legacy I want to leave in the world, is I want somebody to say, thank you, you helped me.
Yes. And that, you just, I love how you're doing it. I love how, the passion that you have. And, like, I, all my experts for this event, I look out for them. I make sure they really have what the audience that we're going to be creating here need, because so many women do not understand that you can really fall to the ground and rise to the top if you really want to, or if you have the tools, because one thing that you are there right now and nobody's helping you to come up because you can't do it yourself, but somebody have walked your path. And that is what I call them accomplished winning women, they're doing for you. So all the audience, I want you guys to listen. I have a question that came up and you just went to the question, and I'm going to ask it still so that you can clarify it to our audience, right? And it says, being an advocate for women is a significant part of your work. Can you share specific initiatives or projects you've been involved in that align with your commitment to women's empowerment? And how do you believe your contributions make a positive impact in this realm, like in today's woman? Yeah.
Yeah. So I say what I do in my business is that I empower mid-career women, and it really could be any age. I empower women to go from burnout to breakthrough, from career stagnation to success. And I do that through coaching, through workshops and webinars and things like that. And I'll give you a couple examples. I've done a number of my 5 ways to be an empowered woman leader, Ignite Your Purpose with Passion workshop with middle school girls, with high school girls. Every year at Texas Women's University, I happen to live just north of Dallas, or actually we have Texas Women's University, which I was so excited when I moved here. And it's like 10 miles from my house. It's just a university for women. I was so excited, and it's a really great school. I go back every year and I teach my workshop to the women that are in their Leadership Institute graduate program. I volunteer to do things like, there's a group I was at last night, DFW ATW, Alliance of Technology Women. And I'm doing work with their STEM group, their Science, Technology, Engineering, Math group. I do individual coaching for people, and I deliver workshops, webinars to companies to help empower women. I have a whole series of leadership programs. But one of the things I really want to share with your audience is these 5 principles at a high level. And if they contact you or me, I will send them some guides to help them. They obviously can get my book on Amazon. It's on Kindle and it's on paperback copy. But I'm going to give them a free personal vision roadmap. That's a guide to help write your personal vision. So the first principle I discovered, which we as women need to remember, is be strong and play to your strengths. So go online for free. If you haven't done one already, go online for free and take what's called a DISC, capital D, little ISC profile. It's free. And you get back a report that says your strengths are, you are more like a driver, you're more like an initiator, you're more like a supporter, you're more like a a conscientious person, and it will tell you what your strengths are. And you want to find career and job opportunities that fit your strengths. Because if you're doing what you love and it's a strength for you, you're going to be more productive. You're going to have better accomplishments, and you're going to have less stress. And yes, you need to play to your strengths, and you need to get anything you might consider to be a weakness to an acceptable level, or find somebody that can do that for you. So that's the first principle: be strong and play to your strengths. The second one that plays to the personal leadership vision is you need to stand up. But to stand up, you need something to stand on. You need a personal leadership vision statement that you create, and I'll give you a hint how to do it, and it's in the personal leadership roadmap guide that we can send you. You need to create a personal leadership vision to guide your career and life. Now, my personal leadership vision is Pattie is a strong, confident, empowered woman leader who makes a difference by empowering women and girls to be the best they can be. And so when I look at a company who wants me to come in and do training for their people, I try and figure out if that company is going to really fit the vision. They're really going to do something after my workshop, right? If they just bring me in to make people feel good and they go back to work and the place is a toxic environment, that's not good. Right. So I try and find jobs and careers and opportunities that fit that. Can I make a difference with this person in coaching? Can I make a difference with this company? And you use that to make your career and life decisions. Right. Number 3 is be valuable, be visible, and be vocal. As women, we all know this. We sometimes have to work 150%, where a man can work at 80% just to get noticed. So become valuable. If whatever your trade, your craft, your passion is, be great at it. Be a master. Go take free YouTube workshops. Go take free LinkedIn courses. Go to conferences. Go to meetings. Take the certifications you need to be a master of your craft. So you're really, really great. And then be more visible and be more vocal. Right? We tend to create self-doubt because we think we have to be perfect. Perfectionism comes from when we were little girls, and we probably all heard this from a parent or a teacher. I call it the good girl syndrome. Be the good girl. Go to the good school. Have the good friends. Get the good job. Find the good significant other. Be a good citizen. It was all these things about being good that as little girls we translated to, I need to be perfect. I need to be the perfect wife, house cleaner, cooker, team leader, individual, community person. I need to be perfect at all those things, but you're not. You never will be. And if you try to be, you'll be on that bathroom floor because you don't think you're good enough. And that little girl, good girl syndrome turns into imposter syndrome, where we don't think we're valuable enough, or visible, or vocal enough. We're not speaking up from ourselves. If a woman gets complimented for a project she worked on, in her mind, if she doesn't say it, many times she'll say, oh, I could have done better. Oh, I left something out. You'll self-doubt yourself. And that imposter syndrome really creates that cycle where you see that perfect job posting that you would love, and you hesitate or don't apply because you think, I need 1 more year of experience. I need another certificate. I'm not ready yet. Well, you are, and you have to go for it and grab the grass, the gold ring on the merry-go-round and go for it. I'm lucky I had a mom and dad that raised me to believe in myself. And my dad always told me I could do anything I wanted to do, and I could do it better than any boy. I think he always wanted another boy. I had a brother. I think he wanted another boy. But so be more visible, be more valuable, be more vocal. A woman gets complimented, she'll say, oh, my team did it. No, my team and I did it. You need to stand up and be visible at those meetings at your company, right? If it's on Zoom, you only have to dress nice on the way. I have on leopard leggings that don't match my top, and I have on my slippers. But I invested in some really inexpensive Kohl's, Target jewelry, and some little tops I can throw on top of a black tank top at any time and be on camera. Turn your camera on. Make sure your picture is the same size as everybody else. In that big corporate meeting, sit in the front of the room and ask a question. So number 4 is put yourself number 1 on the things to do list. Put yourself number 1 on your things to do list. Self-care is not selfish, it is survival. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. Just like on the airplane, put your mask on first before you put it on the child or the person next to you. Because if you can't breathe, you can't save yourself and you can't save them. So take time to eat, pray, love. Take time during the day. We're all, in many cases, where some of us are still at home or in a home office, and we get into that office at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. We walk out at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. We forget to eat lunch. We don't take breaks. Do yourself a favor. Put lunch on your calendar for at least 20 to 30 minutes every day. And walk away from your desk, your computer, your phone. Do not eat over your keyboard. It's not really good for a computer because you end up with junk in your computer keys. And even during the day, schedule 5 minutes, 10 minutes between every meeting, either a meeting if you're at your office, and go outside for 5 minutes. Maybe say a little prayer. Maybe just go outside and breathe and roll your shoulders and maybe do some sun salutations and just move, because what happens, I'm a research geek. So from research, if you're sitting there and you're working and trying to solve a problem and you can't, it's just not coming. If you physically, this research science-based, if you get away from that environment for as little as 3 to 5 minutes and go outside and breathe some fresh air, your energy comes back, your passion comes back, right? And the last one is pay it forward. Pay it forward to other women. Raise brave girls to be strong and stand up and stand out, that they don't have to be perfect. It's okay. It's okay to fall down or skip your knees or whatever happens to be. So pay it forward and leave the world a better place for women and girls for today, tomorrow, and forever. And there's something called the girlfriend factor. Also research-based. One of the things that helps women stay strong and build resiliency that we all need, the ability to bounce back when things don't go well, is a girlfriend. Somebody you can call, you can cry, you can yell, you can vent, but don't throw a pity party, right? Get out, get it done, and then figure out, so what could I do differently?
Let me tell you something. Everything you said is on point, like 110%. In fact, 200%. And if I should even just stop this interview right here, you watching us, I believe that you've gotten everything you need to move your life. Because, hey, those 5 pillars are everything everyday woman need, regardless of your profession, of where you are now, of your age. As Pattie said, it doesn't matter where you are right now. You can even be at your 80 and you're still feeling unfulfilled. If you start practicing those 5 pillars like now, you'll be amazed how your life in 12 months turn around like 8 years old. Trust me, you did it. You nailed it. And I don't even want to go. Oh my God. This is I loved it. The part that really, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm so glad that you're one of us in this amazing summit, because you see their girlfriend part, that was my biggest, that was the best thing that happened to me when I was going through my time, because I just had this, I call her my friend, my spiritual mom, my bestie. She's my manager in Navy. She manages my business. She manages even my marriage. So there's nothing I could have not called her on phone those days. Anyway, she is now, she's like, okay, Pastor Joy is all right, because she no longer call me.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing I think what we need to understand and learn is that we're all going to face setbacks, and we're all going to have fall down, and we're all going to need to get up again. And so if you can do that, and here's another technique you can use, is called an after action review. When something goes well, pause for a moment and ask yourself what happened? Why did it happen? What did I learn from it? And what would I do again to achieve the same or better result? And then you build your resiliency when something doesn't go well. You ask yourself, what happened? Why did it happen? What do I need to do differently next time to create a different result? I mean, we learned so much through the time of being locked in our houses for 2 years with our family, and my husband and my 2 dogs for 2 years. I was like, I've got to get on the road. If I don't get out of this house, I'm gonna like I wouldn't, but
I know.
anyway, so it's just it's what did you learn from it so that you can bounce back, and the next time you're faced with that same or similar situation, you go, I know how to handle this. Here's what I learned. I learned to never let anybody else ever control me again and tell me what I can and cannot do. That I have the power within myself to be that confident, empowered woman leader. And my quest in life is to pass that on to everybody. So write your vision statement, put it on your computer, put it on the mirror of your bathroom. You look at least twice a day when you brush your teeth. And then when you're faced with career and life decisions, go back to that and say, which one best fits my vision? Or I fell off track. I'm going to get back on track by revisiting the fact that I'm not living my vision for me, because you're worth it.
Oh, wow. This is a blessing. And I thank you once again. I keep thanking you because, oh my God, ladies, you want to win? This is your roadmap. Trust me. And that is going to bring us to the conclusion of this, event today. And you are so, I'm so honored to have you in our studio today. And God bless you. I'm going to say before I ask you the last question that I know you guys are asking, hey, coach, how do I find you? If I want to do what you're doing, how do I locate you? How do I connect with you? And I know you said about the 5 pillars. Is that your free gift? I want you to be the one to tell our audience what you have for them. And we're going to wrap up. Yes.
So my free gift is it is the PDF. It is a personal vision roadmap. Walks you through exactly how to do your personal vision, envisioning yourself on your favorite TV show or podcast like Reverend Joy's show. And imagine you're sitting there with your friends and family, and they're all talking about you as a fantastic, empowered, strong woman leader. What are the words that they're saying? What are the words you want to say about yourself? So there's a whole step-by-step guide of how to write your vision. My name is Pattie Grimm, Pattie Grimm, like Grimm's Fairy Tales. And you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm a very simple person. You can email me at my email, which is Pattie Grimm, PATTIEGRIMM at live.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I post every interview, like this interview will be posted on my LinkedIn. And the other one I do, or when I do presentation or write articles, it's always on my LinkedIn. So if you just connect with me that way, that's an easy thing to do.
Yes. And every business should be on LinkedIn. Let me still say that. Every business person, because this is what I call career women, business women, and leaders who want to lead, who want to lead with passion. As I tell people, this is out of hearing the voices of my, I lead a network marketing team. And after a whole year, I heard the voices of my women. They want to lead, but they don't know how to. And I'm like, okay, no, we are going to create voice for the voiceless. And trust me, oh my God, you nailed it. You just made that voice. And hey, you're watching me. You are asking what next. Don't forget, we have more other interviews you can't afford to miss, because these accomplished winning women, you see how I call it? Accomplished winning women. They are rocking and they just want to help you. We don't want you 12 months from now to, regret the steps you didn't take today, because it's today that is going to determine what happened 12 months from now. And we want you to start early. So, hey, tune in for the rest. And with that, we just want to say thank you for coming, our coach in the house, and also thank the audience for, watching us today, and looking forward to seeing you March 6, 7, and 8, where you will have the the capacity, I call it, the privilege, let me use the right one, the privilege to ask our coach today some question, if you have any, and let her just, help you in that particular, time that she's going to be on. So don't miss it. Look out for our information on that and just tune in to get your life back. So I'm just going to say bye-bye,
Thank you.
everybody.